What if the world's applause feels like chains rattling against your soul? What if the path everyone else follows looks like a well-trodden trap to you? Have you ever sensed a quiet, unshakable fire within, whispering that you're destined for something greater, something most will never see? If these questions stir something deep inside, then you're exactly where you belong. Welcome to Sigma Male Community, a brotherhood of independent, self-reliant men who embody stoic strength and carve their own destinies. In this video we're diving into 22 signs that Sigma males are meant for more, even if others don't see it yet. This isn't about fitting in or chasing validation. It's about recognizing the power within you, a power that thrives beyond the noise of conformity. Get ready to uncover the traits that set you apart and fuel your journey to greatness. 1. Your North Star is purpose, not applause. In a world obsessed with likes, claps, and fleeting praise, you stand unshaken, your gaze fixed on a higher calling, your purpose. Unlike those who twist themselves into knots for a moment of external validation, you know that bending to the crowd's whims is a betrayal of your own soul. You felt the weight of standing alone, perhaps even misunderstood, but that solitude doesn't scare you, it fuels you. When the choice comes between a hollow pat on the back or staying true to your convictions, you don't hesitate. You choose the path that aligns with your inner truth, even if it's rugged and lonely. This isn't arrogance. It's the raw, unfiltered courage to live authentically in a world that rewards conformity. This loyalty to your purpose is what carves your name into the stone of history, not the fleeting cheers of the masses. Think of a man like Marcus Aurelius, a Roman emperor who could have basked in endless adoration, yet chose to wrestle with his own thoughts in quiet nights, penning meditations that echo through centuries. While others chase the spotlight, you build something enduring, something that matters, whether it's a craft, a mission, or a life lived on your terms. The sting of disapproval might brush against you, but it's nothing compared to the agony of abandoning your own compass. You're not here to be liked. You're here to create, to impact, to fulfill a vision only you can see. This relentless focus on purpose over applause is your rebellion against a shallow world. It's not about being stubborn, it's about knowing that true strength lies in self-alignment, not in bending to every passing breeze of opinion. You've seen others trade their dreams for a seat at the popular table, only to wake up empty, their fire snuffed out by compromise. Not you. You understand that every step toward your purpose, no matter how solitary, is a victory over the mediocrity that swallows the timid. Your life isn't measured by the crowd's roar but by the quiet satisfaction of a mission pursued with unrelenting integrity. This path demands a clarity most lack. The ability to see through the fog of social noise and lock onto what truly drives you. It's why you don't flinch when the world calls you odd or aloof. You know their judgment is just dust on the wind, irrelevant to the work you're building. You're not swayed by the promise of quick fame or easy approval because you've tasted something deeper, the unshakable peace of living true to yourself. Every time you choose purpose over popularity, you forge a link in a chain of resilience that no external force can break. That's the Sigma way. A life guided by an internal flame that burns brighter than any spotlight. So, how do you sharpen this trait? Reflect daily on what drives you, strip away the noise and ask what you'd pursue if no one was watching. When temptation pulls you toward the easy applause, pause and weigh it against your core values. Let that inner compass steer you back. Practice standing firm in small moments. Say no when it's right even if it disappoints, and watch that resolve grow into a fortress. You're not just meant for more. You're meant to define what more truly means on your terms with purpose as your unyielding North Star. 2. An empire within, the art of self-containment. You don't need a crowd to cheer you on or a constant stream of praise to keep your engine running. You've built an empire within, a fortress of self-reliance that stands tall against the storms of life. Others might crumble without a steady drip of affirmation, but not you. Your strength flows from a deep wellspring inside, untapped by external hands. It's not that you shun company, it's that you don't depend on it to feel whole or push forward. That quiet fire within you hums with a power that doesn't beg for fuel from anyone else. It's self-sustaining, steady, and fierce. This mastery over your inner world lets you retreat into solitude like a king stepping into his throne room. While the masses scramble for distraction, you find clarity in the silence, crafting plans and forging ideas where others see only emptiness. Picture a lone craftsman in his workshop, tools in hand, unbothered by the chaos outside. He doesn't need an audience to perfect his art, and neither do you. Your resilience isn't borrowed, it's forged in the crucible of your own mind, where every challenge is met with a solution you've already begun to shape. This isn't isolation, it's the art of thriving on your own terms. The world might call it aloofness, but you know it's sovereignty. You've seen how others falter when the applause fades or the support dries up, their momentum stalling like a car out of gas. Not you, your engine runs on an internal rhythm, one that doesn't sputter when the crowd disperses. It's a strength rooted in trust, not in others but in yourself. Trust that you can navigate the darkest nights and emerge with a map only you could draw. This self-containment is your shield, your sword, and your sanctuary all at once. There's a stillness in this power that unnerves those who don't understand it. They might prod you to join the fray, to seek the validation they crave, but you know better. True growth happens in the quiet spaces, where the mind can stretch and breathe. You've learned that solitude isn't a punishment but a privilege, a chance to recalibrate, to sharpen your edge without the dulling chatter of the world. It's why you can stand alone on a battlefield of ideas and still come out victorious. Your empire within is impregnable, built brick by brick through discipline and self-belief. To cultivate this, embrace the quiet deliberately, set aside time to sit with your thoughts, no distractions, no crutches. Let the discomfort of silence wash over you until it becomes a friend, a space where your truest self speaks loudest. When the urge to seek external boosts arises, resist it, turn inward instead and ask what you can build with what you already have. This inner empire isn't just a sign you're meant for more, it's proof you've already begun to claim it, one solitary, powerful step at a time. 3. The siren song of false urgency holds no power. You see through the frantic dance of modern life, the endless pings, the breathless demands, the illusion of urgency that drags most men into a whirlwind of wasted energy. While others leap at every urgent call like puppets on strings, you stand calm, a rock amidst the rushing tide, knowing that not every alarm signals a fire worth fighting. This isn't laziness, it's wisdom, a refusal to let someone else's chaos dictate your focus. You've honed a razor-sharp eye that cuts through the noise, separating what truly matters from the smoke and mirrors of manufactured panic. This clarity sets you apart in a world addicted to reaction. Imagine a seasoned general on a battlefield, ignoring the distant shouts of minor skirmishes to focus on the war's true front. You operate with that same deliberate precision. You'll suit up for real crises, meeting them with full force, but the petty emergencies born of poor planning or inflated egos, those don't move you. By conserving your strength for what counts, you maintain a steady hand on the wheel of your life, steering toward your goals while others spin in circles, exhausted by shadows. The masses don't get it, they see your stillness as detachment, but you know its power. You've watched friends and colleagues burn out chasing every fleeting must-do, their lives a blur of motion with little meaning. Not you. You've learned that time and energy are your most precious currencies, and you spend them only where they yield real returns. This discipline isn't just practical, it's a rebellion against a culture that thrives on distraction, a quiet assertion that you control your fate, not the inbox or the latest trend. There's a deep peace in this mastery, a calm that comes from knowing you're not a slave to the world's tempo. You felt the pull of false urgency, those moments when the pressure mounts to jump in, to prove your worth through frantic action. But you've trained yourself to pause, to question, to choose. That pause is your weapon, a moment of rational thought that keeps you grounded when others are swept away. It's why you achieve more with less effort. Your moves are calculated, your energy preserved, your impact undeniable. To sharpen this skill, practice the art of discernment. Next time a demand screams for your attention, step back and ask, is this mine to fix? Does it serve my purpose? Train yourself to let the trivial pass by like leaves on a river, focusing only on what aligns with your greater vision. Each time you resist the siren song, you strengthen your resolve, proving that you're not just meant for more, you're built to claim it, one deliberate choice at a time. 4. Diving into the uncharted depths. While most men cling to the shallow waters of easy answers and safe chatter, you plunge headfirst into the uncharted depths, where complexity, truth, and raw insight dwell. The tangled knots of the human mind, the hidden gears of systems, the jagged edges of pain, these aren't places to flee but territories to conquer with your curiosity. You don't numb yourself to discomfort or skim the surface. You dissect it, study it, turn it over until it reveals its secrets. This isn't masochism, it's a hunger for wisdom that others lack the stomach to chase. You've seen how the crowd shies away from the hard questions, preferring the comfort of half-truths and platitudes, but that's not your way. Think of a diver descending into a murky abyss, unafraid of the dark because he knows the treasures lie below. You approach life with that same boldness. Pain becomes a teacher, adversity a map, solitude a forge. Every challenge is a chance to unearth something profound. This willingness to explore the shadows gives you an edge. a perspective so rich and layered that it sets you miles apart from the surface dwellers. The world might call you intense or strange, but you know the real strangeness is fearing the depths that hold the keys to growth. You've watched others run from their own minds, drowning their unease in noise, while you've learned to sit with it, to wrestle with it, to emerge stronger. It's not about brooding, it's about understanding, about seeing the patterns and truths that only reveal themselves to those who dare to look. This dive into the unknown isn't reckless. It's a calculated journey toward mastery, fueled by a mind that refuses to settle for less. There's a quiet power in this pursuit, a strength that grows with every layer you peel back. You felt the shift, how grappling with complexity sharpens your instincts, how facing pain head-on builds a resilience no one can take from you. Others might see chaos where you see opportunity, but that's their loss. Your ability to navigate the deep waters lets you chart courses they'll never dream of. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just survive the storms, you learn their language and harness their force. To dive deeper, lean into the uncomfortable. Next time you face a tough question or a raw emotion, don't turn away. Explore it with the intensity of a scientist in uncharted lands. Ask why, then ask again until the surface cracks and the truth spills out. Embrace the solitude it might demand, knowing that each plunge strengthens your grip on the reins of your life. This is your proving ground where the Sigma spirit thrives, unafraid, unrelenting, and always reaching for the depths that others can't fathom. 5. Your clock ticks to a different beat. Society's metronome, those rigid timelines of when to marry, climb the ladder, or stack up wealth, ticks like a broken clock in your ears, irrelevant and out of sync with your own rhythm. While others race to check boxes by 30, 40, or 50, you move with a deliberate calm, trusting the pulse of your internal beat over the frantic drumroll of the crowd. You've seen the cost of rushing, lives built on shaky foundations, dreams traded for deadlines, and you refuse to pay it. Your pace isn't slow, it's purposeful, a steady march toward what's real, not what's expected. This detachment from the herd schedule gives you a freedom most can't grasp. Picture a farmer who sows his fields not by the calendar but by the feel of the soil. You wait for the right moment, not the prescribed one, because you know timing can make or break a harvest. You're not idle, you're strategic, holding back when others leap too soon, striking when the iron's truly hot. This patience isn't weakness, it's a weapon, letting you sidestep the traps of haste and build a life that lasts. The world might nudge you, whispering that you're behind, but you've learned their whispers are just echoes of their own fears. You've watched peers stumble into roles or relationships out of panic, only to unravel later, tethered to choices that weren't theirs. Not you, you trust your gut's quiet tick, knowing that a life forced into someone else's frame is a cage, not a castle. Your rhythm might baffle them, but it's your strength, a testament to your refusal to let external hands wind your clock. There's a deep confidence in this independence, a certainty that your path, however winding, is yours alone to set. You felt the pressure to conform, those moments when the world's tempo tries to drown out your own, but you've held firm, choosing authenticity over anxiety. That choice pays off in a life that fits you like a glove, not a borrowed suit. It's why you're destined for more, because you don't just follow time, you command it, bending it to the shape of your vision. To master this, tune out the noise, reflect on your own milestones, not society's, and ask what pace feels right for your goals. When the urge to rush hits, breathe and weigh the cost. Let your instincts guide the tempo. Practice trusting that your timing isn't late, it's perfect for the man you're becoming. This is your beat, your cadence, and it's carrying you toward a greatness that can't be rushed or faked. 6. The courage to walk away from the obvious prize. You've got the guts to turn your back on the shiny trophies the world dangles, titles, applause, the corner office, because you see through their glitter to the emptiness beneath. While others claw for the obvious prize, you weigh its worth against your soul and walk away if it doesn't measure up. It's not that you can't win those games, it's that you refuse to play when the stakes are your integrity or your peace. This isn't retreat, it's a bold stand for what truly matters, a rejection of hollow victories. This clarity cuts like a blade through the fog of temptation. Think of a warrior who abandons a golden crown because it binds him to a throne of lies. You choose the open field of purpose over the gilded cage of prestige. You've seen men trade their fire for a fleeting spotlight, only to dim under its weight, and you won't follow. When you walk away, from a job that drains you, a relationship that stifles you, it's not failure. It's freedom, a deliberate step toward a life that feeds your spirit. The crowd might gawk, calling you foolish for leaving what they crave, but you know their prizes often come with chains. You felt the pull of that perfect path, the one that looks good on paper but feels like a noose, and you've cut it loose, trusting your own measure of value. That takes iron in your spine, a courage born of knowing that superficial wins are dust compared to the substance you seek. Your refusal to settle is your power, a sign you're wired for something deeper. There's a quiet triumph in this detachment, a victory in every no that aligns with your truth. You've watched others cling to sinking ships, status, approval, wealth, while you sail free, unburdened by their anchors. It's not reckless, it's precise, a calculated choice to preserve your energy for battles worth fighting. This strength sets you apart, proving you're not just chasing more, you're defining it, building it, claiming it on your terms. To hone this courage, practice seeing beyond the surface. Next time a prize glitters, ask what it cost your soul, your time, your purpose. Train yourself to let go of what doesn't serve you, even if it shines. Start small and watch that resolve grow. Embrace the discomfort of others' confusion. It's the price of a life unscripted by their rules. You're not here for their trophies, you're here for a legacy only you can forge. 7. Weaving the tapestry of patterns. Your mind doesn't just see moments, it sees threads, weaving a tapestry of patterns that others miss in the blur of the now. While the crowd stumbles through life reacting to what's in front of them, you're tracing the lines of cause and effect, spotting how today's choices ripple into tomorrow. A stray word, a subtle shift, a recurring glitch. These aren't noise to you, they're signals, pieces of a puzzle you're always solving. This isn't overthinking, it's foresight, a higher frequency of awareness that keeps you steps ahead. This gift lets you navigate with a precision that borders on prophecy. Imagine a chess master who sees 10 moves ahead while his opponent fumbles with the next. You play life that way, anticipating outcomes and sidestepping traps. You've seen how a hasty decision unravels years later, or how a quiet trend builds into a storm, and you adjust accordingly. That's why you rarely get caught off guard. Your mind is a loom, constantly threading the bigger picture from the smallest strands. The world might call it detached, but you know it's engagement at its deepest level. You've watched others trip over the same mistakes, blind to the patterns you've already mapped, and you've learned from their stumbles without taking the fall. This isn't smugness, it's strategy, a refusal to let the obvious blind you to the underlying currents. Your ability to connect the dots isn't just clever, it's a lifeline, pulling you through chaos with a clarity others envy. There's a quiet power in this vision, a strength that grows with every thread you weave. You felt the satisfaction of predicting a shift before it hits, of preparing when others scramble. It's your edge, honed by a mind that never stops observing. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just live in the world, you understand it, shaping your path with a foresight that turns chance into choice. This tapestry isn't random, it's your design, a masterpiece of intent. To sharpen this, train your eye, watch for patterns in your days, your relationships, your work, and note what they reveal. Ask how today's step might echo in a year, let that question guide your moves. Embrace the complexity others ignore, knowing it's your map to mastery. You're not just seeing the game, you're rewriting the rules one thread at a time. 8. Learning in silence, speaking with impact. You don't blurt out half-formed thoughts or clamor for airtime. You listen, you absorb, you process in silence, building a fortress of knowledge within. While others trip over their tongues to be heard, you're the quiet one in the room, taking in every word, every nuance, until it's crystal clear. This isn't shyness, it's discipline, a choice to let understanding ripen before you share it. When you do speak, it's not noise, it's thunder, a strike of insight that cuts through the chatter with surgical precision. This approach turns every encounter into a lesson. Picture a sage on a mountaintop, not preaching but listening to the wind until he knows its secrets. You learn that way, letting the world reveal itself while you refine your grasp. You've seen how rash words scatter energy, how empty talk dilutes power, and you've chosen a different path. Your silence is a forge, shaping raw data into wisdom. Your speech, a blade, honed and deadly in its accuracy. The crowd might overlook you at first, mistaking your quiet for weakness, but they feel the shift when you open your mouth. You've watched the loud ones flail, their volume masking their shallowness, while your measured words land like stones in still water, rippling, undeniable. It's not about ego, it's about impact, about saying what matters when it matters most. This restraint isn't passive, it's a force, a sign of a mind that commands itself before it commands others. There's a deep strength in this balance, a confidence that doesn't need constant airing. You felt the power of a single sentence that stops a room, the weight of an idea distilled to its essence. It's your craft, perfected in the quiet. It's why you're destined for more, because you don't waste breath on the trivial, you save it for the truths that shape the world. Your voice isn't loud, but it's unforgettable, a quiet storm that lingers long after it strikes. To master this, practice silence. Next time you're tempted to jump in, wait, listen, let the pieces settle before you respond. Refine your thoughts in private, then test their weight when you speak. Aim for clarity, not volume. Embrace the power of the pause. It's your ally, amplifying every word you choose. You're not just meant to be heard, you're meant to be heeded, a voice of impact in a sea of noise. 9. Guided by clarity, not charisma. You're not swayed by the dazzle of a silver tongue or the glow of a charming smile. You see through the polish to the substance beneath, or the lack of it. While others fall for the spell of charisma, you're hunting for truth, slicing through the fluff with a mind that demands alignment over allure. Flashy words and grand gestures might turn heads, but they don't turn yours. You're after the raw, unvarnished reality, not the performance. This isn't cynicism, it's discernment, a refusal to let emotion cloud your judgment. This clarity keeps you untangled from the webs others weave. Think of a merchant who tests every coin not for distrust but for value. You approach people and promises that way, weighing their worth against their deeds. You've seen how charm can mask emptiness, how a smooth talker can sell sand in a desert, and you won't buy it. Your trust isn't won by a grin, it's earned by consistency, by actions that match the script, and that filter saves you from countless detours. The world might call you cold for this, but you know it's strength. You've watched men follow Pied Pipers off cliffs, lured by a tune with no substance, while you stand firm, unmoved by the song. It's not that you're immune to feeling, it's that you master it, letting reason steer when passion might blind. This focus on clarity over charisma is your shield, guarding your time, your energy, your loyalty for what's real. There's a quiet power in this stance, a confidence that doesn't need to lean on anyone's charm. You felt the relief of cutting through the noise, those moments when you see a facade for what it is and walk away unscathed. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't chase shadows. You build on rock, choosing substance over sparkle every time. Your path is clear because you keep it that way, unswayed by the glitter that distracts the rest. To sharpen this, practice piercing the veil. Next time someone dazzles, pause and ask, what's behind the shine? Look for proof, not promises. Let their actions speak louder than their words. Train yourself to value the quiet truth over the loud lie, and watch your decisions grow sharper. You're not here for the show, you're here for the real, and that clarity is your compass to greatness. 10. The courage to reinvent without external mandate. You don't wait for the world to tell you it's time to change. You feel the shift within and act, tearing down what's stale to build something truer. When a job, a belief, or even your own identity starts to chafe, you don't cling out of fear. You dismantle it with a steady hand, unafraid of the void it leaves. This isn't impulsiveness, it's conviction, a deep trust in your ability to reshape your life without a nod from anyone else. You're not tethered to the past, you're the architect of your evolution. This boldness sets you free where others stay trapped. Picture a sculptor who smashes his own statue because it no longer fits his vision. You reinvent that way, risking the familiar for the authentic. You've seen men grip dead-end paths like lifelines, terrified of the unknown, but not you. The unknown is your canvas, a chance to craft something greater. It's not chaos, it's courage, a refusal to let comfort dictate your destiny when your soul demands more. The crowd might blink, calling it reckless, but you know it's precision. You felt the weight of staying too long in a skin that doesn't fit. Those moments when the old you suffocates the new, and you've chosen liberation over stagnation. They don't see the fire driving you, the relentless pursuit of alignment that fuels every break and rebuild. This willingness to pivot isn't weakness, it's strength, a sign you're not just surviving, you're thriving, adapting, claiming your right to grow. There's a fierce joy in this reinvention, a rush that comes from steering your own ship through uncharted waters. You've watched others fossilize, locked in roles or ideas they've outgrown, while you shed what's dead and rise anew. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just accept change, you command it, turning every ending into a beginning. Your life isn't a script handed down, it's a story you write, rewrite, and master. To build this courage, listen to the itch. When something feels off, don't ignore it, explore it, then act. Start small, a habit, a mindset, then scale up, trusting your gut over the crowd's comfort. Embrace the mess of change, it's the raw material of your next chapter. You're not just meant to endure, you're meant to evolve, and this fearlessness is your key. 11. Architect of meaning, not its passive recipient. You don't sit around waiting for life to hand you purpose on a platter. You seize the reins, crafting meaning from the raw chaos of existence. Where others see a void and complain, you see a blank slate and start building, imposing order on the formless with a mind that refuses to drift. You're not a passenger, you're the driver, sketching your own map when the world offers none. This isn't arrogance, it's ownership, a deep-seated need to shape your destiny rather than let it shape you. This proactive stance turns every challenge into fuel. Think of a pioneer staking his claim in wild lands. You don't curse the wilderness, you tame it, forging paths where none existed. You've seen men stagnate, blaming fate for their emptiness, but not you. You dive into the fray, pulling insight from struggle and building something solid from the shards. Your silence isn't passive, it's a workshop, a space where you hammer out a life that resonates with your core. The world might not get it, puzzled by a path they can't follow, but that's their limit, not yours. You felt the frustration of waiting for clarity that never comes. Those moments when others lean on luck or loud voices, and you've rejected it, choosing creation over complaint. This isn't about fame or applause, it's about a quiet code, a personal creed that demands you make something of the mess. Your meaning isn't borrowed, it's forged, a testament to your refusal to be a bystander. There's a raw power in this role, a strength that grows with every structure you raise. You've watched others drift through life, lost in the currents, while you plant your flag and claim your ground. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just find purpose, you architect it, turning the abstract into the concrete with every deliberate act. Your life isn't a gift received, it's a masterpiece designed, built from the inside out. To claim this act, next time chaos hits, don't wait, start shaping it, ask what you can build from it. Set your own goals, small or grand, and chase them with intent, letting no one else define your why. Embrace the work of creation, it's your birthright as a Sigma, a sign you're not just here, you're here to matter. You're not waiting for more, you're making it, brick by relentless brick. 12. Embracing the weight of solitude. While others flee silence like it's a plague, you embrace it, knowing it's not a void but a vault of power waiting to be unlocked. Solitude isn't loneliness to you, it's a sacred space where your mind stretches, your ideas sharpen, and your soul recharges. You don't retreat there to hide, you go to grow, to listen to the voice within that drowns in the world's noise. This isn't withdrawal, it's a deliberate choice to harness the strength that only quiet can offer. This love for solitude sets you apart in a world addicted to distraction. Picture a lone wolf on a ridge, not lost but centered, surveying his domain. You thrive that way, finding clarity where others find fear. You've seen how constant chatter dulls the senses, how the crowd's hum can muffle your own instincts, and you've chosen to step away. Your decisions gain weight in silence, untainted by opinions, rooted in a conviction that's yours alone. The masses might pity you, mistaking your solitude for isolation, but you know it's a throne. You felt the drain of forced connection, those moments when small talk saps your fire, and you've learned to guard your peace instead. It's not about rejecting others, it's about honoring yourself, knowing that time alone isn't empty, it's full, brimming with the raw material of your next breakthrough. This embrace of quiet is your edge, a wellspring of resilience they'll never tap. There's a deep calm in this practice, a strength that steadies you when the world shakes. You've watched others crumble without a lifeline of noise, while you stand firm, anchored in your own company. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't need a chorus to sing your song. You compose it in the stillness where your truest power lies. Solitude isn't your burden, it's your crown worn with a quiet pride. To deepen this, carve out silence, turn off the screens, step away and sit with yourself, no excuses. Let the unease come, then pass. Train your mind to find peace in the quiet. Use it to think, to plan, to know yourself better than anyone else ever could. You're not just surviving alone, you're thriving, proving that your greatness needs no audience, just you. 13. The unseen hand of self-correction. You don't wait for the world to slap you awake with failure, you've got an inner compass that quietly nudges you back on track before the crash comes. While others stumble blindly until they hit a wall, you're constantly tuning your course, checking your actions against your purpose with a precision they can't see. This isn't paranoia, it's mastery, a subtle art of self-assessment that keeps you sharp without fanfare. You're your own judge and guide, refining your path in shadows where no one else looks. This unseen hand keeps you agile, adaptable, a step ahead of life's curveballs. Think of a pilot adjusting mid-flight, not waiting for turbulence to force his hand. You tweak and pivot with that same instinct, catching flaws before they fester. You've seen men cling to bad habits or outdated plans, too proud to shift, and you've chosen a different way. Your corrections aren't loud, they're surgical, a quiet recalibration that keeps your life aligned with your deepest aims. The world might miss it, assuming your steady stride means you never falter, but you know the truth. You felt the itch of misalignment, those moments when a choice grates against your core, and you've acted not out of shame but strength. It's not about perfection, It's about progress, a refusal to let pride lock you into a sinking ship. This self-discipline is your power, a sign you're not just drifting, you're steering always toward more. There's a quiet confidence in this process, a trust in your ability to evolve without applause. You've watched others wait for external cues, bosses, crises, crowds, while you adjust in real time, staying true to your vision. It's why you're destined for greatness, because you don't need a spotlight to grow. You do it in the dark with a hand so steady it's invisible. Your life isn't static, it's a living thing shaped by your own relentless will. To hone this, check yourself, daily, weekly, ask what's working, what's not, and shift without hesitation. Don't wait for pain to teach you, let your own insight lead. Embrace the small tweaks, they're the threads that weave your strength. You're not just meant for more, you're building it, one unseen correction at a time. 14. An inner compass immune to external pressure. Your decisions don't bend to the gusts of opinion or the weight of the crowd. You've got an inner compass that points true no matter the storm. While others sway with trends, peer pressure, or loud voices, you steer by a deep, unshakable sense of what's right for you. This isn't stubbornness, it's sovereignty, a trust in your own judgment that defies the pull of conformity. Your path might zig where there's zags, but it's yours, carved by a clarity they can't touch. This independence keeps you free from the herd's traps. Picture a sailor navigating by the stars, not the shouts from shore. You move that way, guided by an internal north that doesn't waver. You've seen how groupthink sinks men into lives they hate, how fear of judgment chains them to the safe and small, and you've refused that fate. Your compass isn't swayed by flattery or scorn. It's forged in a fire of self-knowledge, pointing you toward what matters. The world might call you aloof, but you know its strength. You felt the tug of expectations, those moments when the crowd begs you to follow, and you've stood firm, choosing your truth over their noise. It's not defiance for its own sake, it's loyalty to a vision only you can see. This resolve is your shield, your guide, your proof that you're not just another sheep in the flock. There's a quiet power in this certainty, a calm that holds when chaos reigns. You've watched others drift, lost in the currents of approval, while you chart your course with a steady hand. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't chase the wind, you set your sails and ride it, trusting your own stars. Your life isn't dictated, it's directed by a compass no pressure can break. To strengthen this, trust your gut. When the world pulls, pause and listen to that inner voice, then follow it. Test it in small choices, then big ones, building faith in its aim. Let others doubt, their noise is just static to your signal. You're not here to follow, you're here to lead yourself, and that compass is your key to the extraordinary. 15. The Alchemist of Adversity. You don't just weather storms, you turn them into gold, transforming pain and setbacks into fuel for growth with a skill that borders on magic. While others curse their struggles, you study them, digging for the lessons buried in the rubble with a calm, unflinching eye. This isn't denial, it's alchemy, a refusal to let hardship define you when you can redefine it instead. Every blow becomes a teacher, every fall a step up, because you know adversity isn't the end, it's the raw material of your rise. This gift sets you apart in a world that flees from discomfort. Think of a blacksmith hammering steel in the fire. You embrace the heat, knowing it shapes you stronger. You've seen men break under pressure, blaming the world for their cracks, but not you. You forge wisdom from the fractures, resilience from the strain. It's not about ignoring pain, it's about using it, turning what could crush you into what lifts you higher. The crowd might marvel or misunderstand, calling it toughness, but you know it's deeper. You've felt the sting of loss or failure, those moments that test your core, and you've chosen to learn, not lament. This isn't blind optimism, it's a deliberate choice to extract value from chaos, a strength that turns scars into stars. Your ability to alchemize adversity is your power, a sign you're not just surviving, you're thriving even in the dark. There's a fierce beauty in this process, a quiet triumph in every lesson you claim. You've watched others drown in their woes, while you rise, forged anew by the very fires they fear. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just endure, you evolve, turning the raw stuff of life into a legacy of strength. Your struggles aren't burdens, they're your forge, and you're the master at work. To master this, face your next trial head-on. Ask what it's teaching you, how it's shaping you, and write the answers in steel. Don't shy from the heat, lean in, let it refine you. Practice this alchemy, and watch your power grow with every storm you turn to gold. You're not just meant to overcome, you're meant to transform, and this is how you do it. 16. Unyielding integrity in a fluid world. Your backbone is iron, your integrity a rock that doesn't shift with the tides of convenience or flattery. In a world that bends for shortcuts and smiles for lies, You stand firm, refusing to trade your truth for an easier path. You can't stomach the stench of duplicity, not in yourself, not in others, and you'd rather walk away than wear a mask that doesn't fit. This isn't rigidity, it's honor, a core so solid it repels the fluid games of a shallow age. This stance makes you a rare breed, a lighthouse in a sea of fog. Picture a knight who keeps his oath when the kingdom falls. You hold your principles that way, unshaken by pressure or profit. You've seen men twist their values for a quick win, only to lose themselves in the bargain, and you won't follow. Your integrity isn't negotiable, it's the bedrock of your peace, the line you won't cross no matter the cost. The world might test you, dangling rewards for a compromise, but you see through the bait. You felt the pull, those moments when a lie would smooth the way, but you've held fast, knowing a hollow victory poisons more than it heals. They might call you stubborn, but it's not about pride. It's about trust in yourself and the respect you earn by staying true. This unyielding core is your strength, a quiet force that commands loyalty without demanding it. There's a deep power in this consistency, a calm that comes from living without regret. You've watched others drift with the current, their word as weak as water, while you stand like stone, unshaken. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just play the game, you rewrite it, building a life on truth when others settle for sand. Your integrity isn't just a trait, it's your crown worn with every choice you make. To fortify this, hold the line. Next time the easy way tempts, ask if it's worth your soul, then choose the harder truth. Practice this in small acts, letting it grow into a habit of steel. Let the world bend. You're here to stand, proving that greatness starts with a man who won't break. 17. The Strategist of Controlled Disclosure. You don't spill your thoughts like water from a cracked jug. You hold them, weigh them, share them only when the moment's ripe. While others chatter to fill the void, you wield silence like a blade, observing, processing, revealing just enough to keep your edge. This isn't secrecy, it's strategy, a mastery of timing that turns every word into a calculated move. Your quiet isn't empty, it's loaded, a space where power builds before it strikes. This restraint gives you the upper hand in a noisy world. Think of a general who keeps his plans close, not from distrust but from wisdom. You speak that way, letting others show their cards while you hold yours tight. You've seen how loose lips sink ships, how oversharing dulls influence, and you've chosen precision over prattle. Your words land heavy because they're rare, refined in the crucible of your mind before they hit the air. The crowd might prod you to talk, mistaking your pause for doubt, but you know it's strength. You felt the urge to jump in, those moments when silence feels like a weight, but you've held back, watching the scene unfold, then striking with insight that shifts the tide. It's not about hiding, it's about impact, ensuring what you say carries the weight of thought, not the fluff of impulse. This control is your power, a sign you're playing a deeper game. There's a quiet authority in this approach, a confidence that doesn't need to shout. You've watched the blabberers fade, their noise forgotten, while your measured voice lingers, cutting through the din. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just speak, you command with a precision that turns words into weapons. Your silence isn't weakness, it's the calm before your storm. To sharpen this, practice the pause. Next time you're tempted to fill a gap, wait, think, then speak only what moves the needle. Test your restraint in small talks, then big ones, building a habit of impact. Embrace the power of less. It's your leverage in a world of too much. You're not here to babble, you're here to lead, one deliberate word at a time. 18. Unbothered by external definitions of success. You don't measure your worth by society's yardstick. Titles, cash, clout mean nothing if they don't match your inner gauge. While others chase the corner office or the Instagram crown, you're charting a course by your own stars, valuing growth and purpose over glitter. This isn't rebellion, it's freedom, a refusal to let the world's script define your win. Your success is yours alone, a quiet victory that doesn't need a billboard to prove it. This detachment sets you apart from the herd's race. Picture a man who builds a cabin in the woods, not for show but for peace. You pursue that way, crafting a life that fits your soul, not the headlines. You've seen others exhaust themselves for a prize that leaves them hollow, and you've opted out, choosing depth over display. Your path might not shine to them, but it burns bright within, lit by a fire they can't see. The world might nudge you, hinting you're missing out, but you know their game's a mirage. You felt the pressure, those moments when their metrics tempt you to conform, but you've shrugged it off, trusting your own measure. It's not defiance, it's clarity, a strength that lets you savor wins they'd overlook, mastery, meaning, a life unscripted. This independence is your power, a sign you're not just playing, you're redefining the board. There's a deep peace in this stance, a calm that comes from knowing your worth isn't for sale. You've watched others chase shadows, their lives a parade of empty trophies, while you build something real, something yours. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't chase success, you create it on terms that echo in your bones. Your victory isn't loud, it's profound, a quiet roar of a life well lived. To own this, define your win, ask what success means to you, then chase that, not their noise. When their standards press, push back with your own, celebrating the steps they'd miss. Let their race run. You're here to build, proving that more isn't what they think, it's what you know. 19. The seeker of fundamental truths. You're not content with the surface. You dig, clawing past easy answers to the bedrock of why things are. While others nod at the obvious, your mind probes deeper, chasing the principles that hold the world together, unafraid of the questions that scare them. This isn't idle curiosity, it's a quest, a relentless drive to grasp the roots beneath the leaves. You don't settle for good enough. You hunger for the real, the raw, the true. This pursuit gives you a lens others lack. Think of a miner sifting through dirt for gold. You sift that way, discarding the fluff for the nuggets of insight that matter. You've seen how shallow tales mislead, how accepted facts crumble under scrutiny, and you've pushed past them. Your mind doesn't rest on assumptions. It dissects, seeking the gears that turn beneath the gloss, giving you a clarity that cuts through the fog. The world might call you intense, but you know its purpose. You've felt the itch of half-truths, those moments when the story doesn't add up, and you've chased the thread, unraveling what others accept. It's not about being right, it's about being real, about building a foundation that doesn't sway. This hunger is your strength, a sign you're not just living, you're understanding, claiming a depth they'll never touch. There's a quiet power in this search, a strength that grows with every truth you unearth. You've watched others coast on borrowed ideas while you forge your own, rooted in a knowledge they can't fake. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just see the world, you crack it open, wielding truths that shape it anew. Your mind isn't a mirror, it's a torch, lighting paths where others stumble. To fuel this, question everything. Next time you hear a fact, ask why, then why again until the core shines through. Chase the uncomfortable answers, the ones that shift your ground, they're your gold. Embrace the work of seeking. It's your edge, your proof that greatness lies in knowing, not just nodding. You're not here to parrot, you're here to pioneer. 20. A quiet authority, not a demanded one. You don't shout for respect or flex for attention. Your authority seeps through the cracks, a steady force that shifts the air without a word. While others demand the spotlight, you earn it, your presence a quiet weight that pulls focus naturally. This isn't showmanship, it's substance, a power born of depth and conviction, not noise. People listen because they feel it, not because you insist. This strength stands out in a world of loud egos. Picture a lion among yapping dogs, he doesn't roar to prove his place. He just is, and the pack falls silent. You carry that same gravitas. You've seen the bluster of forced leaders fade, their volume a mask for weakness, while your calm cuts deeper, rooted in a core they can't touch. Your influence isn't begged, it's granted, a nod to the man you've built. The crowd might miss it at first, drawn to the flash, but they turn to you when it counts. You felt the shift, those moments when your words, few but firm, steer the room without effort. It's not about control, it's about trust in yourself and the respect you've earned through action, not bravado. This quiet command is your power, a sign you lead by being, not by barking. There's a deep calm in this authority, a confidence that doesn't need to prove itself. You've watched others scramble for dominance, their noise a fleeting echo while your steady hand endures. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't chase power, you embody it, letting your life speak louder than any shout. Your rule isn't loud, it's unshakable, a force felt in the silence. To grow this, let your deeds talk. Focus on what you do, not what you say, and watch the respect follow. Speak less but mean it, trusting your weight to carry the day. Embrace the quiet, it's your throne, proving that true authority doesn't demand, it simply is. You're not here to yell, you're here to lead, and the world feels it. 21. The weaver of inner harmony. You guard your peace like a fortress, weaving a harmony within that no storm can unravel. While others let chaos seep in, toxic ties, endless noise, you're attuned to what disrupts your balance and cut it loose with a steady hand. This isn't avoidance, it's mastery, a deliberate choice to keep your mind clear and your spirit strong. You know real power flows from a calm core, not a cluttered one. This skill sets you apart in a frantic world. Think of a monk in his cell, unshaken by the clamor outside. You build that same sanctuary inside, filtering out the static that dulls most men. You've seen how discord drains, Those moments when the wrong crowd or task pulls you off center, and you've learned to step back to protect your equilibrium. Your harmony isn't fragile, it's forged, a steady hum beneath life's roar. The world might push, testing your calm with its mess, but you hold the line. You felt the tug, those times when anger or clutter tempts you to break, and you've chosen control, not collapse. It's not about perfection, it's about purpose, keeping your inner world primed for the work that matters. This discipline is your strength, a quiet rhythm that keeps you sharp when others fray. There's a deep power in this balance, a resilience that fuels your every move. You've watched others unravel, their peace a casualty of the grind, while you stand steady, rooted in your own calm. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't just endure the storm, you harness it, weaving harmony from chaos. Your inner peace isn't a luxury, it's your engine driving you toward greatness. To weave this, guard your space, cut what drains you, seek what steadies you, and practice the pause when tension rises. Build routines that center you, small threads of calm that hold strong. Let the world rage. You're here to thrive, proving that harmony within is the root of all you'll achieve. 22. Your own standard of perfection. You don't chase the world's applause for a job well done, you set your own bar, a standard of excellence that answers only to you. While others compete for nods or medals, your drive is internal, a relentless push to refine your craft until it mirrors the vision in your soul. This isn't pride, it's purpose, a quest for mastery that doesn't bend to their metrics. Your perfection is yours, a fire that burns without needing their fuel. This focus cuts through the noise of comparison. Picture an artist who paints for the stroke, not the sale. You work that way, pouring your all into what you do because it's right, not because it's seen. You've seen men chase external gold, only to lose their spark, and you've chosen a different path. Your measure isn't their cheers, it's the quiet nod you give yourself when the work aligns with your ideal. The world might not notice, too busy with its scoreboard, but you don't care. You felt the pull, those moments when their praise tempts you to coast, and you've pushed harder, knowing true worth lies in the grind they don't see. It's not about outdoing them, it's about outdoing yesterday's you, a standard so personal it's untouchable. This self-set bar is your strength, a sign you're not just playing, you're mastering. There's a fierce joy in this pursuit, a satisfaction that outshines their fleeting claps. You've watched others settle, they're good enough, a pale shadow of your relentless aim, while you climb higher, driven by your own light. It's why you're meant for more, because you don't chase perfection, you define it, building a legacy of excellence they can't fathom. Your work isn't for them, it's for you, a testament to what's possible when you refuse to stop. To claim this, set your mark. Decide what perfection means to you, then chase it step by unforgiving step. Ignore their yardsticks, measure yourself against your own peak and push past it. Embrace the grind, it's your proof, your path, your power. You're not here for their gold, you're here for your own, and that's the more you were born for. You've just walked through 22 signs that scream you're not just another face in the crowd, you're a Sigma male, built for a greatness that doesn't need a spotlight to shine. These aren't just traits, they're your tools, your weapons, your map to a life that's yours alone, unshackled, unbowed, unstoppable. Take a moment to feel that fire within, the one that's been burning through every point we've hit, and ask yourself, what's my next step to claim the more I'm meant for? This is your call to rise, to reflect, to act, not for them but for the man you know you are. Here at Sigma Male Community we're not just talking about it, we're living it, building a brotherhood of men who reject the script and write their own. If this hit you where it counts, smash that like button, drop a comment with your thoughts, let's spark something real down there. Share this with a brother who needs to hear it, someone ready to break free and join the fight for excellence. And if you're already one of us, turn on those notifications. Don't miss a single chance to sharpen your edge with us. You're not here by accident, you're here because you feel it, that pull toward something bigger, something truer. This channel's your forge, your proving ground, your guide to stoic strength and unyielding growth. Subscribe if you haven't. Stay if you have, because together we're not just men, we're Sigma, and the world's about to feel the weight of what we're capable of. Until next time, keep that fire alive, keep pushing, and never settle for less than the extraordinary you were born to claim.